Hi guys, it's 7 o'clock, so I figured I'm going to go ahead and do the live. I also want to just give you guys a heads up. I do have all of the kids here, so if it does get a little rambunctious or noisy, or they might even ask me a question, I do apologize. My daughter will be getting home about 7:30-ish, or even closer to 8, so she might have a question for me, but I want to go ahead and do a live and show you how to do this cute little gnome. I think what I'm going to do though with the new one is I'm going to place his legs a little bit closer together, because I noticed these are spaced out quite a ways. But I ended up getting 2 of these in a package at Walmart, and it turned out really good. Okay, so Izzy wants to say hi.
Hi.
Alright, you can go sit back right over there, okay? So she's just going to sit on the other side of the table here, and my granddaughter Echo is on the other side too, just watching. They're also watching that new movie, Turning Red. So if you might hear a little bit of that in the background as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you what all supplies I used for this. And I ended up adding the bow after I took pictures earlier, because I had these and I thought, oh my goodness, it just adds a little bit of character. Hi, Teresa. So, of course, I started with this cute little bucket. And at first when I got the buckets, there's 2 to a package, I thought, oh, I could have a gnome popping out of it. Hi, Louise. I am so glad you guys are able to come on and visit with me. But when I got these, I thought maybe I could have it popping out of it. But then as I started getting all of my supplies, I thought, oh, what if the gnome had like a little mishap and it ended up on his head? This would make a cute little hat. And at first, I kept thinking this could be a chin strap, but I don't like this little, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little crease, and I don't like that. So I thought I'm going to just put it off to the side because I liked this detail on there. So I just kind of played around with it a little bit, and it turned out super cute. And I'm using the bigger pool noodle, and I cut those down to, it's a little bit over 4 inches. It's almost 5.5 or 4.5 inch pool noodle. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. I also cut a little piece of felt for the bottom. That way, when he sits on a shelf or anything, it's not going to create any friction or anything. It's going to sit nice, and it's going to have that finished look. And then I ended up getting these socks. They had a set of them at Walmart. It's a really long one, so I use it for the body and the arms. And then these cute little coins, I got them at the Dollar Tree. And all that I did was I glued 3 of them together to kind of form a little fan. These were little hair clips, but I took the clip off and I put that on the outside of that sock. And for his beard, I didn't have any of the orange fur. So at first, I thought, what all do I have? I have tons of felt, and I thought I can cut some felt and make it look like little fringe. But after I started, I didn't like how that looked. But I have white faux fur. So what I did was I took that white fur and I took my orange marker and I just marked it as much as I possibly could, roughed up that fur, and I kept going until I got the color that I wanted. It started out really light, but I just kept going and going. But that is just colored with marker. And after it dried, nothing is coming off onto my fingers, so it did really good. And then for the boots, I already have some of this slightly assembled, but I will explain. this here is those little, they are in the baby shower section at Dollar Tree. This black part, that is the top handle of the mops that they have at the Dollar Tree. And I ended up getting a really good deal. They had a big, like a little bucket full of them. And they sold me the container. So I got all the little pieces pretty much for free. But they work so great inside the shoe. So if you have those, when I run out, I'm probably gonna be upset that I've run out of them. But I'm gonna use them until I have no more left. And then I just have like a little skewer that I glued inside, because when I get done, I'm gonna poke this through so it has something to stick inside there. So it'll stay a little bit better. Yeah, back up. Back up, sweetheart. Thank you. And then I cut little pieces of yellow felt for the buckle on those boots. On this one here, though, I think I'm just going to use some brown faux fur. And all that I did was I cut the backing so I wouldn't cut that fur. And I'm using the same little template that I use for most of my stuff. What else? Oh, for the inside of this leg, I do use the gravel just to kind of keep the skewer in place. And I'll show you how I do all that. And then, of course, black felt for the boots. And I grabbed the biggest wooden bead that I have, because I want him to have a really big nose. And then for the arms, I'm going to use another portion of the sock with the smaller wooden beads for the hands. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start. So what I'm going to do first, just leave it up there. Thank you. So what I'm going to do first is just glue this piece of felt to the bottom of that pool noodle. And this is just going to give that finished look. So there we go. If you put the glue directly on the pool noodle, your pool noodle will melt. You'll hear bubbling. And that's why I put it on the felt itself. Alright, so now that that is done, I want this buckle that's at the top of the sock. I want that to be part of his, it'll look like his belt. So I'm going to put that downward so that sits down here. So I'm just going to put and pull this to the bottom where it meets up with that felt on the bottom of the noodle. There we go. Then I will cut this extra. Now I'm going to just tuck that down inside the hole. And then I don't want this to fall apart, so I'm just going to lift that bottom and I'm going to put a little bit of glue underneath it so it's tacked down along this bottom. And just be careful not to burn your fingers when you're doing this part. I do have some of the finger protectors, but a lot of times I don't use them. I let the grandkids use them. They sell them at the Dollar Tree. I also have this bigger one. I think this is made to put a cotton ball in there to help you get your fingernail polish off, but I do use them once in a while with the grandkids. So let me go ahead and finish tacking this down. Okay, so then that is done. And then if you want to weight him down, you can always put the rock inside the hole on here to weight him down. But I'm going to have it a little bit in the boots. So I think that'll weight him down enough. He's not heavy, but he's just weighted down enough with those boots that it works out perfect.
You have chocolate right here.
Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and place his beard right above that buckle. This way you still see that buckle underneath there. There. And then I'm also going to create a little part in the fur so I can put his nose.
Bless the fur.
You want me to use the comb? Okay. Izzy is my little helper. So I made a little part. There you go, sweet pea. Thank you.
I'm brushing my hair.
You're going to use it on your hair. Alright, so then I'm just going to glue that nose and hold it in place for just a little bit. That way it doesn't go anywhere.
Was this on this one?
It was. You're okay. That works. Alright, so there's that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just start working on the boots. So I just cut a little piece of felt and I glued the bottoms. I did not fill them. I just glued that bottom on there. And then I'm going to just trim around this edge. Alrighty. And then after I do this, then I'm going to, what I did was I measured how long from the bottom here to the top of the black piece. So I knew approximately how tall or what to cut this at. And it's about 3 inches wide here. And then I just used the whole width of the felt. And I'm not going to use all of that. I will cut the extra. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that just along that back edge.
I showed them the coin.
You did.
I showed them this one coin.
And then I'm going to put glue along the side. Oh, I need more. Give me 1 second. There we go. Then I'm going to do 1 strip of glue up that side so it grabs that felt go. Then I'm just going to go along the tip of it. And I'm not going to put any glue up on top of the shoe yet. I'm going to save that for later. Then I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. And then one strip up that side. Teresa said hi.
Huh?
Teresa says hi. And said,
Hi.
yeah. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and trim off that extra there. She's been excited all day today, knowing that I was going to do the live. All the kids want to help me every time I do one. They're like my biggest fans. They want to help me with everything. Okay, so before I do the next detail, I'm going to go ahead and fill, scoot back. I'm going to go ahead and fill inside that. I probably should have done it before I put that other piece of felt on there, but I just want to fill that cap. Give it a little bit of weight. Plus, that'll help hold that skewer in place. Okay. And then, earlier, I had cut some pieces, and I cut a little hole in the center. And I'm going to put that over the top of this. But before I do that, I'm going to put some glue on the rocks that I just added, so that will, this way nothing will fall out. So then I'm doing that, and I'm going to cut the extra off.
And I can do that too.
Yeah?
Like I'm doing it too.
You are.
Then I tried to put this in the bucket. This is a cute bucket. It's a cute bucket. Like I'm holding the bucket.
Okay, so now that that's in place, I know none of those rocks are going to fall out anywhere. I'm also going to trim this up because I made it just a little bit too tall. Alright, so then once I have that piece up there, I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right on that tip of that shoe and up the side. And then I'm going to place my thumb to where it goes in, and then it'll create a pleat on either side here. There we go. So see how that forms? I've just pushed my thumb in there, and then glue is here and on the top of that shoe, and then it creates this little pleat on each side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each of those pleats on the inside. And then I'm going to bring them together and hold it for a second.
I just put my in the bucket.
I saw that.
And now it's in the bucket. But
Yeah.
it's not glued.
Yeah.
Not glued.
So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that this stays. I mean, you could put a clamp or something on there to hold it, but it just creates that cute little boot section there. And then those little buckles. Nope, put it back down. So then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this buckle part.
It's not on here.
Then that's going to go on my boot. Just to give that little detail. Alright. So this one I'll do just slightly different than what I did with that one. This one I will fill before I put that, before I put the outside on. This way, it works either way. There's really no wrong way of doing it. But I'm just filling that up with that gravel. And then this, I cut that little hole there. And then this glue that I put on top of there is going to hold that in place. That way none of those rocks fall out. When I did this earlier, and I had the scissors going around and my fingers were up there, Izzy had told me, don't cut your fingers because I will cry. And I just think that is so sweet. Oh, Mama's home.
Look what I'm
doing a live. Oh, those are pretty. So she ended up getting some labyrinth cards. The tarot cards. How awesome. I want to look at those later.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
Mommy,
Alright, so then I cut that little piece off and trimmed it. So then I will go ahead and put that bead of glue along this back. Alright. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing around. There's roast in there for supper. Alright, and then just the tip. So Lee, in the shoe is the cap that is on a handle of a broom or a mop from the Dollar Tree. I ended up getting this great deal. I pretty much didn't have to pay anything for them. They had some that had fallen off of the mops, off of the handles, and they had them in a bucket. And so I took that little bucket up to the register and asked them if I could purchase it because they would fit perfect inside these shoes. I didn't know it at the time, but I would have bet money that it would have worked. And I'm not that gambling type of person. But I saw the vision. And I thought, and if it doesn't fit, I could use it for something else. I'm sure of it. So they kind of looked at me like I was nuts. But it was to my benefit. It's okay. Just sit in the other one. You can sit in the other chair.
I go sitting on this one.
Nope, no one's sitting there. You can sit there. So, anyway, I went to the register, and they went ahead and they sold me the bucket and gave me the stuff that was inside. So, it didn't cost me anything for those caps. Made a little bit too much on that one too. So I just trimmed that extra off. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right down on the top of that shoe and up on that cap. Then I'm going to place my thumb like I did on that other one right down in the center, and then that's going to create those two pleats. And then I'm going to bring those to the front. I'm also going to put glue in here and on the other side. And you don't have to make the boots look like this. It can be done however you like. You wouldn't even have to add feet or arms if you don't want to. It's just one of the features that I really like on my gnomes. Especially since I started getting that technique down. Alright, no more. Yep, you got a toy at McDonald's today, didn't you?
So, the boy.
Oh, yep, you got Donkey Kong, didn't you? Here, we'll hold it up. We'll show the whole side. There you go.
Did you show them the stickers?
I'll show them the stickers. So it came with stickers to add to it. They have those at McDonald's if anybody wants to know. She got that in her Happy Meal. Alright, so there's that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other buckle.
Who said hi?
All of them said hi.
Hi. I said hi
Alright.
to all of them.
Yeah. So now you need to stay over there, okay? You can watch your movie. Gotta be quiet though. Nope, that can't go there.
No one's sitting there.
You're right. Now you have both chairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the boots. Nope, if you're going to be noisy, you got to go in the other room. Okay? Alright, so there's the boots. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make a hole in order to put those in there. So I'm just going to figure out where I want to place them. On the other one, I think I spread the legs out too far. So this one, I think I'm going to use that buckle as my guide. Please don't do that. You're going to have to go in the other room if you're going to be too noisy. Okay? Okay, you've got to listen. Bailey says hi.
Hi. I said hi to Lily.
You did.
Did she say hi back?
She said hi first. So once I poked that hole with the scissors, I filled it up with glue. And then I also put a little bit of glue around there so it catches on the outside of the top here. But I'm still going to add a little bit more glue there just so I know it's going to hold it. And then I can push this in there. It's not wanting to catch. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it in place so it stays. Might even add a little bit more glue. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd like them or not spaced out. They look okay, but I figured with this one I'm going to make him just a little bit different. So I'm going to hold it and make sure that it stays nice before I move on to the next one. You're being really noisy though. Bailey, the other kids are in the other room. I think some of them are playing on their phones. Their mom just got home, so they are saying hi and spending time with her. That one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one here.
Ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong.
The other one just is not wanting to stay put. On the other one, I did have the sticks at a point, so that kind of helped with it too. There we go. That one went really nice. Yes, they would look really good as legs as well. And I have used them as legs on some of my other ones. This one, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and redo it because it's just not wanting to go in all the way. There we go. I think this is going to work better. Okay, so there's his feet. Alright, then I'm going to do his arms. And I just kind of estimated as to how long I wanted them. So this part I'll save for another gnome later on. And so this is just that other part that I cut off the top for his body. Then I cut off the bottom. Then I'm going to cut these sides. So I end up with two pieces. And these will be his arms. And then I'm going to fold up one side because I want a finished edge where his hand is going to be. Okay. And on the other one, I did have to trim these up just a little bit. I just kind of go with the flow. So on this folded edge, I'm going to go and put just a bead of glue in that center part there. And then place my bead where I want it. And then I'll put a little bit of glue there, wrap it around. And then that creates this one to fold over. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And for this step here, if you wanted, you could put a pipe cleaner or anything in there. Or even for the arms, I've used the curlers. You can do that as well. Now for this other side, I'm going to go ahead and fold this edge because I want it to look like a finished edge. There we go. So, with that finished edge, once I fold that over, it's not going to fray. So then what I'm going to do next, after I put another glue stick in there, that's one of the things I always forget to do. And then I run out of glue and have to add one in the middle of everything else that I was gluing. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. And that's going to create that arm. I think since she's not watching her show, I'm going to stop that. Alright, so there's one arm. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other arm. So I'll add up that little bit of glue in the center there. And then place your bead. And then wrap part of that around your bead. And then glue this part down. There we go. And then fold this edge. That way it's a finished looking edge.
Is this over?
The movie? You quit watching it, so I shut it off. Alright, so now that I have that folded to create that nice edge, I'm going to go ahead and finish folding this over. There we go.
Found the TV.
Not right now. You can either watch me do this, or you can go back in the other room. Okay?
You're still doing it live?
I am. Alright, so
Who said
there's
hi?
the other arm.
Who said hi?
Nobody right now. Okay, put it down. Put it down.
Where's the coin that I was putting this?
So then, that seam is going to go on the inside. Hi, Mila. I'm going to figure out how I want the arms, and I'm going to tuck that extra inside where I want it. There we go. And then once I have that extra tucked in, and I have the arms at the length I want, I'm going to go ahead and put glue under this part on the top of this gnome. That way it stays in place. Okay. So I have those glued down there. And even though they're not really bendable, well, I shouldn't say they're not bendable, but they're not posable, I guess, because I wouldn't be able to, like, lift his hand up unless I have it holding something. All I'm going to have him do is hold these coins. So I don't really need them to be bendable or posable or whatever. So now that I have that there, I'm going to see about placement for my hat. And it kind of goes down at an angle to where it's a little bit further down on the back than it is on the front. So he's looking really cute. And then where that, it doesn't touch in every spot, but just where it touches, I'm going to take my glue gun, tuck it underneath, and I'm going to shoot a little bit of glue just where that touches so it'll catch. And then I'm also going to put a little bit right up by his nose. Okay, so I have that in place. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue my little bow. Do my bow on there. Okay. And then I will glue these coins in his hands. Alright, so a little bit of glue there. They really come together really quick too, because it hasn't even been a full hour and he's pretty much done. Thank you guys for the hearts. I'm so glad that everyone was able to come on tonight. I love seeing your guys' comments. And if I haven't seen it, I do want to let you know that if I haven't commented on there, I do rewatch after I get done with my live. I rewatch my video and I try to interact with people on there too. So I do read all the comments. So if I didn't acknowledge you on here during the live, I do apologize. And then also if you guys have any questions or anything and you message me, I will message back. I do work 40 hours a week, but I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can and when I see it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn him around. He turned out so cute. I wasn't sure how I was going to use these little tubs at first, or the little cauldrons, but the pots of gold. And I also did play around with the thought of making it look like some of the coins were falling out of there, like tuck some underneath, like it's falling out. But I ended up going, you know, if you have too much, you have to know when to stop. I mean, he would look great with some going down there, and there's really no wrong way of doing it. But I think I'm going to stop and not add too much of the coins, because I can go overboard with some of them. And then I had also thought on the top where they have all their markings and stuff, I thought it could be really cute to add a coin on the top to hide that. Just that little itty bitty touch or extra detail. So on this one, I'm going to add that to the top. So there's that on the top of his hat. Oh, shamrocks on the bottom of his shoes would look really, really cute. Go in the other room, sweetheart. I had also thought of buttons. Like if I didn't want to use the felt there, I could use like just a little button to put those on there. There's no wrong way of doing it. So whatever embellishments or whatever you have around the house, it works. And if these were smaller, I would even think of putting one on the bottom of his shoes there too. And with Easter coming, I thought, oh, I could do that there and then put like little, make it look like little pads on his feet. Oh, a rainbow would be cute too. See, you guys are so awesome. That's why I really like doing the lives, because it's kind of like brainstorming during the craft, and then the craft just ends up going so much better and becomes way bigger than what it was to begin with. And so what I did during this craft, you guys, when and if you guys make these, what you guys come up with would just mound up, and they're so easy you can make them your own. So say somebody didn't like the little coins, they could always have him holding a thing of shamrocks. Instead of that, you could always paint this to where it's white or black. I just left it green. And these were the bigger ones from Walmart. Now I do know some Dollar Trees have the smaller witch cauldrons, but this one, it was already green, so I just purchased it. See, I don't have any of that alcohol ink, but I just used my little markers. Now, what I have done in the past was I've used this, and then I took some rubbing alcohol to where it kind of blended in just a little bit better. So I don't know if that makes it similar to what you have used. I know different parts of the states and everything has different supplies, and I suppose I could get what I need off of Amazon as well, but I just use what I have in the house for now. So, but boy, they turn out so cute. I do like the orange beard better than the brown one, now that I have them side by side. So if I did make more of these, I would definitely find orange fur, or I would paint my white like I did on this one. And see, with this marker, I wasn't sure if it would stay on that faux fur, or if it would come off onto my fingers. So I did use a very small piece before I did my full beard. I always recommend, do a sample piece first, just to be on the safe side, because if it didn't work, I wouldn't want to waste that big piece. So just use what you have, and it works out just fine. So I think I might glue the top. And these coins too, it has two different sides. So this one just has one, and then this one has a big one and then two little ones. So it just kind of depends on how detailed or whatever you're wanting your gnome to be. And if you guys make them, show me. Send me pictures, because I love seeing what you guys come up with. And they had these, I have some upstairs, I think, but they had these big rainbow erasers. That would look good with him holding a rainbow. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And after looking at these, I do like the wider. I didn't really care for the wide, how far apart I had these legs, but I do like that now that I have these side by side. They both look great, but I think I like this one just a little bit more. And I think it's because I can put a lot more stuff in front of him if I wanted to, where this one, he's going to be a little bit more limited to where there's not going to be a whole lot that could be put there. But it just shows, too, that there's really no wrong way because they both turned out really cute. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the backs. And then that bottom has that felt on there, so you're not going to be scratching anything. But they turn out really cute. I have found, too, that after all of my projects, I find little strings of glue, and somebody had told me to put my glue sticks in the freezer before I use them, and that's supposed to help. So I think I might try that just to see if that works for me. Teresa, thank you. I love how they turned out, and when I finished this one earlier today, I went, that is definitely what I'm doing. And of course, I also had to represent St. Patty's Day, so I'm blessed and lucky. And I have my little bow here, which I kind of match them. So maybe for Easter I'll have to do one as well if we're not having family time at that time. But closer to Easter, maybe I'll wear bunny ears or something just to make it fun. Yeah, it's only been almost an hour, and I'm done already. I'm not used to being done this quick. Normally, it takes a little bit longer. I suppose I could embellish them a little bit more, but I really don't think they need it. Oh, the one thing I will do on this other one, which I did on him, so I added little freckles to his nose. Let's see if you can see that. And my granddaughter said, add a little green dot to the gold freckles because that's just a little bit more St. Patty's Day. So I'm just taking this little marker. I got it from the Dollar Tree. And I'm putting 3 little dots on the side of his nose. And then she wanted me to use my green marker to put a green dot inside those gold dots. And there have been some people, after they do that as well, they put a little bit of blush on one side of the nose. There's no wrong way of doing it. It's just however you want to embellish, and they all turn out really, really adorable. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and log off. Go ahead and sprinkle the video. I'm getting really close to that 1,000 mark for followers. Once I reach 1,000, I do plan on drawing 4 names because it's such a big number. And then I will send out just a little something special just to spread some sunshine out there. I think everybody needs that right now. So as soon as I reach that 1,000 mark, I think last time I checked, I only needed 9 more followers. I know, right? So 9 more followers, and then I'll reach 1,000. So as soon as that happens,
like
I will draw
this.
names and spread a little bit of sunshine. They turned out cute, right? Yeah.
And both of the coins are on.
Yeah, I added that on the top. Do you like
Did
it?
you use mine?
No, yours is still over here. That one's yours. I wouldn't use yours without asking. Okay? All right. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I hope that you guys have a great weekend. And thank you for watching. I love being able to visit with all of you. And I will talk to you guys later.
I want to say bye.
Oh.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.